With 4 games yesterday, so we're down to 12. The 5 through 8 seeds playing for the first time here today. The top 4 seeds earning a double bye and won't play until tomorrow. Very familiar with one another, and we are underway here in day 2 in Kansas City with Joshua Jefferson, who's had a remarkable year for the Cyclones, getting him started. Now Taman Lip, a minute in, still scoreless. Neither team has been able to get a shot off yet. Andrea Gribovich, had a very good game yesterday for
near midcourt.
Buchanan slips, another Arizona State turnover. Little shot fake by Momcilovic. He'll spin and lay it in for the first points of the game.
Because
with the tip, but Buchanan for the Cyclones.
Rebounding is going to be a big factor in this game.
Jefferson. Buchanan is fouled on his way to the rim. Momcilovic, Torre. Boy, and we've got a defensive struggle on our hands right now. Buchanan, no. The follow is good. Get some All-America recognition when it's all said and done. Leaves the 3 short. Another offensive rebound.
Got it off the long rebound.
Lipsy drains it, and it's 7-0.
So have to stop dribbling your way out of trouble and pass your way out of it. Right now they're trying to dribble out of it.
Now an Iowa State turnover. Johnson with a slam. And finally the first bucket of the day for the Sun Devil. Country who play every possession with as much energy and as much determination as Pig Johnson. Again, started his career at a junior college, went to an NAIA school, and now is a double figures. Jamarian Bateman off the bench. He can really shoot it. Plata guarded by Truitt. Plata trying to use that shoulder to muscle his way in, and he does. Bateman into traffic, kicks it back out. Buchanan, nice feed inside. Momcilovic with a chance for... And you worked a Gribovich in there on the same play. 17 a game for Momcilovic, and by today's standards in this, that TJ Otzelberger has.
So look how high out Arizona State is having to run its offense.
Mukeba running hook, and it goes. Just their second bucket of the game. A 21-point win for the Cyclones over the Sun Devils 4 days ago to wrap up the regular season. Johnson spinning, still going, and lays it in.
Boy, what a terrific offense against Iowa State. They're just pushing Arizona State so far out on the floor. They get down to 10, 12 seconds on the shot clock, and then they got to do something. What a pass.
What a feed from Jefferson.
Coverage on that long rebound. Yeah, Joshua Jefferson started his career out playing for Randy Bennett at St. Mary's before transferring to Iowa State.
Nice feed into the corner, but Momcilovic misses.
And one of the things Iowa State also does really well is they run good offense. Now they throw the ball away, but they run good offense that helps them set their defense.
And Mo Odom is on the board. It's 19-8.
Ratios in the country.
What a career he has had. All kinds of emotion at senior night a few days ago for coach, player, fans alike. Here he is as he hits the 3. And has he ever, have they ever, turning this into one of the better programs in America in the last 4 years.
Look how far out Arizona State has to run offense.
Mayusin, though, with a nice find.
Oh, man, that's going to be a difficult task if you're starting your offense past midcourt.
Bateman inside. Plata will flush it. Immediate trap and another turnover.
You can't just leave the floor to make that pass without knowing where it's going.
Bateman for 3. Lipsy the assist. It is all Cyclones right. Second round matchup. Arizona State can barely take care of the ball long enough to get a shot attempt off. Jefferson, a lot of traffic, and turned it over. Steps as he had a win over Kansas recently, but he has not been much of a factor at all in this one.
Well, this is a tough one for him. I mean, he turned it over 7 times in that game a week ago when Arizona State
turnovers. They find themselves down 19.
Boy, what a good switch by Momcilovic. He switches up, and it's going to be under 5 before they get a shot up.
Turnaround, Truitt, no. Tip, no.
Right side of the floor.
Bateman, no. And here's Pig Johnson back in recently after a couple of minutes off the bench. He's got one speed. It is fast. They are 5 for 16 from the floor, 0 for 8 from three-point range, and have not attempted a free throw in this game.
Well, how do you get any rhythm when you've turned it over 13 times?
And so far, extra pass again. Right back to Heisey. Extra pass again, and another trip to the free throw line. Unusual half in about the worst way possible for Arizona State. The errant ball after it hit the rim now. Kind of sort of hustling after it, flipping it back to the official. Frustration is really at a...
If I were the official when Bobby Hurley threw me that ball, I would have scored. He's the all-time.
For part of the time when Hurley was there, what does it say about him that all these years later that record still stands?
Well, Bobby Hurley was not a credit I think he deserved as a defender. I've never seen a player that when he was putting pressure on the ball and totally out of sorts right now.
And the Cyclones now have 11 assists on 14 made field goals.
No team has ever needed halftime more than Arizona State needs it right now.
Jop will get a friendly back. Quiet first half so far.
Well, he hadn't had a look at the basket before that one. And that one you have to take without making a pass.
Bateman. Boy, they respect his three a lot as well. Averages 7, already has 9.
That is not a good idea to dribble against Iowa State. That's another. He's got 12 turnovers in 2 games against Iowa State.
And Jefferson, the length of the floor.
You'd have to go back to George Niang at Iowa State to have a player that's duplicated that sort of consistency in those areas.
Nice feed inside to Mukeba, and he will earn a trip to the line for the Sun Devils. State team as the 5 seed in this league. That tells you all you need to know about how strong it is at the top. Jefferson in and out. They can draw up offensively, which was beyond a struggle for them in the opening half. Odom over the top. Jop will lay it in, and that's one of the
Arizona State defense before they attack it. But Arizona State hasn't had the opportunity to do that because of the pressure that Iowa State has applied all game long.
Buchanan
and he's an excellent screener and then plays out of those screens.
Odom, a nice find into the corner, and the 3 will go down for Grubovich, and that
to make himself available.
Jefferson, who with everything going on for Iowa State, kind of a quiet first half, he made that look.
Create that space.
And the Arizona State big guys are more length than strength. They've got a lot of height, but they're not big, bulky guys. Jop, everybody gets a touch. Jefferson's 3 won't go. Rebound Torrey. Everybody gets a touch again. And Momcilovic. Plata into the game here early in the second half. Buchanan's gone to the bench. Jefferson, left hand, 2 more. Look at that pass from Jefferson behind the back to Heisey. And again, the ball not sticking at all at the offensive end. Offensive rebound. Jefferson, biggest wins of any team this year. And now, of course, they are playing without JT Toppin, who was having a first-team All-America kind of season, unfortunately for him, last night in a first-round win for BYU here at this tournament as it's tipped back in by Jop.
His second 40-point game. He had 43 earlier this season.
On West Virginia later on tonight. You can see that game on ESPNU with our buddies John Shambi, Fran Fraschilla at 7 o'clock Eastern time. That is Jefferson all the way in and draws the foul. 5 to shoot. Jefferson hoists the 3 and hits.
Boy, what do you...
Odom. And a little bit too far for Johnson for the 20th. Heavily favored going into that first game. The foul, by the way, was on Odom, his 4th. He's gone to the bench. Look at the defensive pressure again, but it ends up in a foul.
The degree of difficulty for the shots that Arizona State is getting just really, really high.
Jefferson, fade away. How good is that?
Nate Heisey, one of the best glue guys in the country.
Momcilovic for 3. Heisey the assist.
And Heisey just got in the... Well, Iowa State didn't score there, but, you know, there's no selfishness on this team.
Mayusin knocks down. Mukeba. Into Truitt, and he's got an and one opportunity.
Round screen for the screener, and Lipsy could not have been more wide open.
Odom surrounded and foul. University as fierce, along with his brother, as fierce a competitor as there is in the game. And you hope whatever happens, there are good things in the future for Bobby Hurley.
Well, there will be.
Get it up and under and couldn't do it. And Jefferson almost took it away, and now Lipsy's got it. Jefferson with another and one up.
Oh, the last defensive possession, getting a piece of the ball before fouling. Good fake, my goodness.
And a good shot as well. Pig Johnson has fouled out. That is interesting stuff. The hugs continue for Johnson.
Well, Jamarian Bateman also has
this tournament and maybe a spot in the NCAA tournament. They can strengthen that case if they could beat Cincinnati in our next game. But you know the Bearcats are going to be coming right after them. They're
28% from the field. That year was the best in the country.
Rebound. So we thought Torrey was coming out, but two other Cyclones came out. Torrey is still in the game at the moment. Kelderman with a great feed to Nelson.
Anthony Rise was all-state in Wisconsin. He had 46 points in a high school game.
Ribovich lays it in inside.
Actions with Christian Anderson, who's one of the best guards in the country, bar none.
A three-point opportunity for Mulder. Well, you like to see guys like this have these moments. They work so hard. They practice just as hard as the seed Iowa State. They will move into the quarters, and a date with Texas Tech tomorrow. What a game that should be. Tournament history, 91-42 for the Cyclones, who got contributions from everybody. Their defense was absolutely.
Arizona State further out on the floor, making passes was difficult. Just a magnificent defensive performance by Iowa State.
And after a slow start today, Joshua Jefferson really got going and put up great numbers as always. 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists for one of the most